Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much for tuning in. People, this is the best thing that could ever happen to the election. First of all, President Trump was going to win before Kanye West decided to run for president. So if he indeed follows through with it, and I think he will, he'll get more than the 4.5 million votes that Gary Johnson took from President Trump. So Gary Johnson of the Libertarian Party took 4.5 million votes. Without Gary Johnson, President Trump would have won the popular vote. I think even if you added Jill Stein, because even if you added Jill Stein to Clinton's count and you removed Gary Johnson, you still get President Trump winning the popular vote, I think. Don't quote me on that, but it's just simple math. And so Clinton got 65,853,514 votes. Trump got 62,984,828 votes. That's a difference of 2,868,686 votes. By the way, to my super chat, thank you so very much for your support. To my new Patreons, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. You help me remain just an independent voice, and you allow me to do my thing. If you enjoy my wacky personality and my unique view on life and politics, then I can run my channels and do my thing with your support, and I'm just greatly appreciated. I'm greatly appreciative. And if you want to support my voice long term, my Patreon is below in the pinned comment. But people, you go and you look. The difference between even if Jill Stein voters voted for President Trump, if Jill Stein voters voted for Hillary Clinton, it's still 67,310,730 votes. Let me know if I'm wrong here. And if Gary Johnson voters voted for Trump, you have 67,747,061 votes. So I might have been wrong initially in what I said regarding if you added not if you added Jill Stein, even if you didn't add Gary Johnson, but if you added Gary Johnson to President Trump's total and you added Jill Stein to Hillary Clinton's total, you get Trump winning by 400,000 votes. So you have you basically no, so I was wrong. If you added Jill Stein voters and you didn't add Gary Johnson, Trump wouldn't get the popular vote. But if you added if you added Gary Johnson to Trump and you added Jill Stein to you added Gary Johnson to Trump and you added Jill Stein to Clinton, President Trump gets the popular vote. And then so the third party hurt President Trump. It didn't hurt Hillary as much as it did President Trump. Okay? Howard Walters! Love you and your content, bro. Serious question. If Hillary doesn't run, what in the heck are you going to do? I hope she runs for your sake. I am going to party because if Howard Walters, thank you, Howard, thank you. If she doesn't run, then Biden loses in a landslide, and then we party on this channel. So I win either way. If people, look, let's put it this way. I am giving the Democratic Party advice that they should take. The only chance they have is with Hillary Clinton. If she doesn't run, then you're talking about a completely inept politician who can't even wrestle control away from a person who looks like an exhumed body and communicates like one. Biden just the other day. Howard Walters, thank you. let's put it this way. If she doesn't run, first of all, she will run. It will be Clinton will be nominee. It ain't going to be the cadaver that looks like he got plastic surgery. They're not going with Biden. The only reason they chose Biden is because they have such contempt for President Trump that anyone looks good, even Biden. The DNC primary, we know, DNC lawyers in court, ladies and gentlemen, stated they don't even need to have a primary. This is what they could pick their nominee in smoke-filled back rooms. We know this from the DNC fraud lawsuit that Jared Beck, Elizabeth Beck, and Nico House ran. But Howard and everyone here, first of all, she's going to run, but if she doesn't run, then this will be the channel to watch, and H.A. Goodman's other channel will be the channel to watch when they don't even get the popular vote. Because Kanye West is running, they don't get the popular vote. Because this is the thing. So with Biden, they wouldn't even get the popular vote. They would get demolished in the Electoral College. He loses every single debate by a wide margin, and it doesn't matter what media says. And they're done for like a generation, too, because there are 19, 20-year-olds who are looking at this election saying, wow, Democrats got obliterated by President Trump. People generally gravitate towards a person that wins. People are going to find out, okay, well, you know what? He's actually not that bad of a president. He's actually a very good president. Then you're going to have more favorable media. Then you're going to have the Durham probe, William Barr going after all the people that set up and framed Trump. So there's no way they would roll the dice with Biden. They would lose miserably. So in that sense, I still, succeed. My channel, H.A. Goodman's other channel, does very, very well. So my career skyrockets. It's doing fine, but it does even better once President Trump goes 8 years. It's funny, people on the left are like, oh, H.A. Goodman was a grifter. Like, yeah, because I made so much money telling people not to vote for Hillary Clinton and going up and trying to, and easily dismantling the Trump-Russia myth. That was so lucrative. It was so lucrative to be on the right side of history while Democrats were trying to recreate a Cold War. It's kind of funny. But Howard, thank you. So it's all good either way, but I will have made the biggest political call. I'm on my way to making the biggest political call of all time, because if Kanye West is running, you better believe Hillary Clinton's campaign is saying, well, okay, we should probably hurry up. Alex Alex! She will be nominated VP, and they will first see if the polls give Biden a huge lead. If not, he will step down and will be as we had no choice. Alex Voro, thank you, Alex. Thank you, Alex. I think she could be the VP. That's true. She could be the VP. That is true. That's a possibility. To my Canadian viewers, thank you very much. To my Canadian viewers, Alex, thank you. That is a possibility. Eric H526, Luke St. Martin, hello. Paul 48, hello. James C, hello. That is a very, very good possibility. No matter what happens, Clinton will become nominee. But ladies and gentlemen, you have to be super excited like I am. I'm telling you, this is the best thing. Now you have all of these celebrities. Should I run for president too? They're going after Kanye West. They're going after Kanye West. Hollywood, for some reason, Hollywood and the music industry, there are very few people that are icons. Roseanne Barr, for example, is a comedy icon. She is. Her show will be watched and talked about forever. Her comedy will be enjoyed forever. Kanye West, he is an icon. You can say, oh, well, I don't like his music, whatever. Or you could say, oh, he's fantastic. he managed to do something in an industry that eats up and spits out people. He managed to become extremely influential, powerful, wealthy within an industry that's very difficult to really make a huge impact within. And he did so in a changing landscape, with the internet completely changing the way people make money in the music business. He's still making money. He's still producing records. And you're talking about like 20 years now. He's been around now for 20 years, and he's not only relevant, he's running for president. So if you look, Resistance Twitter is, they are livid. Here, same thing. They're livid. You get all the resistance people going after Kanye West. He's like public enemy number one. Here you go. And it's interesting also. Every single person now, you see the Democratic Party, they said that they spent the past 2 months saying that you should listen to people of color, you should listen to black voices, and then Kanye West, a black man, runs for president. Everyone on the left is descending upon him. But they can't touch him. They cannot touch him because they know the only thing they care about, ladies and gentlemen, is political power and influence. That's it. They don't care about anything else. Howard Walters, when you start supporting Trump, did you have any former colleagues that sent you threats all the time? Colleagues, not so much. Well, yeah. I'm sure you probably lost a lot of friends. I did. Can you share any experiences? Of course. Howard Walters, thank you. Sadly, Howard, I've probably lost, not of my own doing, because these people are maniacs and they're fanatic ideologues and they're seething and fuming hysterical imbeciles. I've probably lost, not through my own doing, Howard, 1, 2, let me think, Howard. Now I'm going to start crying. 1, 2, 3, 4, possibly 5. Possibly 5 very close friends or dear friends. So 5 through no fault of my own because they're maniacal and fanatics. 5 friends that I've lost, and then colleagues. There have been some that, well, I see, you have to understand, Howard, they're embarrassed of me. People who, many people who had maybe a history with me were embarrassed that they even knew me. So when I was on the left and I was the biggest Bernie Sanders booster on the internet, thank you, Howard, thank you. It was all good, but then when I became a Trump supporter, it was like, oh my God, he's crazy. And so a couple to colleagues, but then I got, Howard, the hit pieces when I was on the left. See, the hit pieces came out. The Daily Beast wrote an unethical, inaccurate hit piece on me, where they would interview people and interviewed one person, oh yeah, I don't even want to get into it, but it was stupid. Just basically the hit piece said nothing really bad about me other than I'm just not a person who should be trusted regarding not voting for Clinton. I don't even know. It was really nothing. The hit piece was nothing more than, why didn't I? Because I didn't speak to the Daily Beast. That he doesn't even work for him. It's this guy who specialized in actually writing hit pieces on people, because he's not really relevant or well known, and he's not really he doesn't have a website, or he has a website, but I don't think he's really done much. but he claims to be this fantastic journalist. So he, I guess, sold the piece to the Daily Beast, and then it's just really hilarious because a lot of the editors in the Huffington Post now work at the Daily Beast. These are the people who signed off on every one of my viral articles. Edwin, greetings from Fiji. Hello, Edwin Vons. Hello. So Howard, they wrote just an unethical, absurd hit piece on me, basically saying, why didn't I want to talk to this journalist? Because I knew that he would deliberately misquote me and try to paint me in the most negative light. Commie leftist, my fellow Bolshevik. Hello, commie leftist. Hello. I mean, I can go on forever. There's like one journalist for a publication that, so the Daily Beast article is like completely inaccurate on pretty much everything it said. It didn't really say anything bad about me at all. It was just like trying to paint me in a negative light. And it took a picture of me where I'm like that, and it's like an ominous photo, like a Photoshop, Then there was this other journalist I don't even think he's a journalist, but whatever. The guy obsessed over me wrote like 5 or 6 hit pieces on me. In the same, and then his editor, one of the top people there, also wrote hit pieces on me. They're no longer, that publication is no longer around. Then there was an article in Politico called "The Fall of Salon." So because that was published in Salon, so they said like, oh, one of the reasons Salon, the fall of Salon. That was an article here, thefallofsalon.com. And then there was a reference to me saying H.A. Goodman has written several columns for the publication, like with titles like "I wouldn't vote for Dick Cheney, so I won't vote for Hillary Clinton." Yeah, that's true. And actually, Salon isn't uniformly pro-Sanders. Goodman's viewpoint is one of a wide-ranging of voices. True. The more stinging critique is about the quality of what Salon publishes, and Goodman's pieces in particular have reignited lamentations about the site's downward spiral. Then, one of the former editors called my work idiotic, which is funny, because I was published while she was there. At Salon. While she was there, I was literally published there. See, again, all they want to do, Howard, I don't really care about, Eric H526, thank you. I don't really care about what people say about, what people have said about me, because it's a bunch of nonsense. Like, because I have no, like, skeletons in my closet, I'm just somebody who had a different viewpoint from them. They really can't hurt me. They tried to hurt me and failed miserably. With like Wong Kit wrote a hit piece because I said Comey. I said that the evidence shows that anyone would have gotten indicted, and then Comey said, "Well, there was no intent." So I think Wong Kit, the Daily Beast, one publication that doesn't even need mentioning because it's no longer it's no longer around. Reddit. I mean, I can go on forever. If you could believe this, I had a Reddit Ask Me Anything, where I was telling everyone on Reddit that yeah, Clinton's gonna lose and Trump's gonna win and Clinton can't win, and they're like, oh yeah, like, can you not bring up Clinton ever? And then that was just horrendous. But anyway, I can go on forever. But Howard, thank you, Ian Markey. Basically, you look at anyone who doesn't, it's not a political ideology. It's more like a cult, because there's nothing that binds Democrats except if you took away social media, they don't have a that's the water. They don't have a Like, they don't have policies that they're looking forward to implementing. It's more like, well, Trump is a mean person and he's horrible. Foreign policies about Facebook ads, Russian Facebook ads. I'm telling you, if Kanye West can develop a platform that is similar to President Trump's platform, he can win the presidency in 2024. I am telling everyone this. This is 400 people on this live stream right now. I'm telling everyone this right now. If Kanye West can develop a platform, can articulate and communicate his foreign policy, can say that, hey, you know what, I want to bring Americans home, which is what President Trump is doing. President Trump signed a deal in late February, early March, to get our soldiers home, to bring our soldiers home from Afghanistan, our longest military conflict in the history of our country. If he can develop, Eric H526, thank you. If he can communicate a foreign policy, domestic policy, economic policy, if he can communicate what kind of a country he wants to preside over as president, or what type of, how he wants to address injustice, or how he wants to improve the economy for everyone, how he wants to bring Americans home, how he wants to address poverty within urban areas and inner cities, he can become president. If he embraces, if he goes to some, very important churches, gets the evangelical community. There's a lot of things he can do. And he already has Hollywood. Because at the end of the day, the celebrities there are celebrities sticking with Kanye West now, when they would never have. See, Kanye West he's going to take millions upon millions of votes from Democrats. Millions upon millions of votes. Okay? He'll take probably a lot more than... If Gary Johnson, nobody knows who Gary Johnson is. And granted, there's like a libertarian movement, but... I mean, Weld and Gary Johnson ran that into the ground. But... if you look, ladies and gentlemen, he runs now. He gets about 6, 7, 8 million votes, most of which, and you have to understand, Minnesota, Nevada, Wisconsin, Michigan, Ohio, Florida, anyone who doesn't like Clinton, because it's not going to be Biden. Biden wouldn't even get the popular vote without Kanye. With Kanye West, I don't see how they could possibly get the popular vote. Because it's not that he's only going to get one demographic. He's not only going to get like African American and black voters. He'll get Latino voters, he'll get Asian voters, he'll get Jewish voters, he'll get white voters, he'll get all voters. Everyone likes his music. He's a billionaire for a reason. And then they're going after him. Well, he was 50 million in debt. Like, he's a billionaire. Why would that even be an issue? Go type in Kanye West right now. You get, we cannot let him do this. We must stop him. These are from just regular people. We cannot let him do this. We must stop him. Like, what does that even mean? Everyone's like every single person that is every single person that is a resistance crowd, and they have pictures of Kanye West and President Trump's face like morphed together. They didn't care. Look, they didn't care about listening to the political viewpoint of a person of color. Kanye West is a black man running for president. He is running as an independent, but it hurts the Democratic Party. So now everyone who is saying everyone who is saying one thing for the past 3 months, everyone who is saying one thing for the past 3 months is now saying yet another thing. So, I am telling you, if he can't articulate and communicate, he can win easily. Then they're trying to, this is libel, defamatory, I should say. They're trying to say, he's mentally unstable, as if Madam Secretary is the picture of serene, calm, emotional stability. They're going after him with a vengeance. Nobody knows who I am, and on a microscopic scale, they went after me. They failed miserably, because there's nothing really to go after other than my viewpoint, which they don't want to go after, because anybody who has ever tried to come at me, I've said, let's debate. They almost, actually every single person, aside from a couple that I've actually debated and then I destroyed them in the debate. I mean, every single person has, any person that has ever said anything, tried to disparage me, I said, let's debate, let's talk about it. They didn't want to. So, on a microscopic scale, they tried to hurt me, hurt my image. Didn't work out, because I didn't care what they thought, number one, and I was on the side, they think they're on the side of history. I'm on the side of history. History will judge President Trump in a very favorable light. The Democratic Party without Twitter is no longer a political party. Trump is president with or without Twitter or Facebook. He doesn't care. He doesn't really rely. That's why when Twitter or Facebook, we're putting a little disclaimer on Trump. He said something that was not true. Meanwhile, every single allegation against Trump for the past 3 years regarding Russia was a complete fantasy that they just happened to find out after 3 years of investigating. It was a fantasy. But I'm telling you, if he can go ahead and develop a platform, he can win. All he has to do, look, if he's pro-Second Amendment, which I think he is, he's definitely pro-First Amendment. I think also they know NRA praises Kanye West for his Second Amendment remarks, so there you go. He's a conservative in many ways. This is an October 11th 2008 article, so there you go. Kanye West stands by the Second Amendment, so there you go. I mean, the polished politician is a thing of the past now. I'm trying to tell you this, ladies and gentlemen. President Trump won in large part because he's not a politician. Biden is not only a dinosaur, he's an ancient relic that they're propping up until the real candidate, and they're propping up until the real candidate comes out, which is Hillary Clinton. But here's a person who is the embodiment, the antithesis, I should say. President Trump is the antithesis of the Democratic Party in a different way. Kanye West is the antithesis of the Democratic Party also in another way. He is the antithesis of the Democratic Party. So, I mean, I'm telling you. I'm telling you that if you look at, okay, what is the Democratic Party? It's a political party that doesn't stand for one can you say the Republicans are pro Second Amendment? You can say that Democrats, maybe two or three things, they're for climate change. Well, what does that mean? President Obama presided over the largest expansion of domestic oil and gas production. Oh, they're for immigration reform. Really? Well, then where's the... President Obama deported more human beings than anyone else ever. He will have deported more human beings than President Trump. So tell me, what do they stand for? One or two, three or four things, but really mostly lip service. Mostly lip service. What I'm trying to tell you is they try to say that they're a tent, that they have a whole bunch of left-leaning factions that exist within the Democratic Party, and they're all happy, and they need a leader towards the end to just, get them to the presidency. Well, that isn't really the case. Old school dad, man! No Dem will care what West is. He will be crushed by left propaganda. Old school dad, man, I think he'll crush the propaganda. I don't think that the propaganda can touch him. I don't think that they could touch him. I'll tell you why. He's the type of person, he is like President Trump. What they level at him, the opposite. It's kind of on a microscopic level. I'm not comparing myself to Trump or Kanye West at all. Nobody knows who I am, really. But, on a microscopic level, the best thing that anyone ever said about me is one of the people who wrote a hit piece on me in a publication that's no longer around, said that I feel no shame, which is hilarious because that's anything they tried to level at me, I didn't care. So when people tried to disparage me or go after me, or I didn't care. When you try to go after Kanye West, do you think he cares? You think you try to go after President Trump? This is why Democrats cannot stand him. Either of them now, because they look at Kanye West, they say, "Oh my God, he's allowing Trump to win," and he is. He's like Jill Stein. He's Jill Stein times 1,000. Kathleen Smith. See, I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, Kathleen Smith, thank you. This is a great. This is something that, you should be really happy about. Because it is it's just suddenly the narrative changed from listen to the viewpoints of people of color to, oh my God, Kanye West, don't ever listen to him. So really what they meant was listen to people of color who are Democrats. That's it. You have these Twitter personalities going after a man who here's a self-made Kanye West is a self-made man. He built his him and Kim Kardashian have I think, what are they, both billionaires? I don't know. But they built everything on their own. Now, you could say, well, they did it in a lot better of a manner than the Clintons have, $135 million? How do you think they acquired the money? You had Bill Clinton meeting with Vladimir Putin at his home. And nobody cares. Nobody says anything. And this is during the Uranium One deal. People are actually they're on the left. They're saying, "Oh my God, oh my God." How dare? Oh my God. How could he run for president? They are livid. They are livid. They're livid. And there you go. There you go. It's pretty unbelievable, ladies and gentlemen. Exactly, Robert De La Rosa, exactly. It's pretty unbelievable how you have a man who now, like, you better believe if he could take votes away from President Trump, they would be so happy. But here's the difference between the Democratic Party and and Trump supporters. Let's say a country western star said, I'm running against Trump. He'd get 0 votes. Because Trump supporters don't look at James Clapper or Robert De Niro or the CNN journalists. They don't look at... There are no appeals to authority. Trump voters don't base their decisions on arguments resting upon appeals to authority. Teresa Johnson, thank you. Thank you. Very kind of you. Teresa, happy 4th of July to you. Thank you. Very kind of you. Every kind statement, ladies and gentlemen, really helps me a great deal. And I have just the best. You know who's like Kanye West? And not saying he's a Trump supporter because I don't know if he supports. I don't know who he supports. But when you listen to Lil Wayne, when he talks politics, the left, like, their heads implode. I love, like, if you talk to the 99% of celebrities, they'll do exactly what the Democratic Party wants. But if you talk to, there's like a 1% of celebrities, whether it's Kanye West or Jon Voight or Roseanne Barr or Lil Wayne, that they do their own, or Clint Eastwood, they do their own thing. And you have to tell the Democratic Party to take a hike, you have to be an icon. You have to be very big. Because what they do is they try to silence you, then they try to hurt you financially, they try to hurt you, your image, they try to hurt you in a public relations spin way. All they care about is political influence and political power. That's it. That's all they care about. That's all they care about. That's why I'm telling you, when they lose, they're going to lose, and it's going to be Hillary Clinton. If Kanye West is running, what you think Clinton's saying? Okay, I'm just going to go help Biden. Can you imagine? Could you imagine, ladies and gentlemen? Could you imagine Hillary Clinton at the DNC virtual debacle, laughing stock of a convention, where if it's a choice between watching Super Bowl reruns from Steelers Super Bowl reruns or the DNC convention, you're like, well, I guess I'm going to click on that. Can you imagine Clinton saying, you know what, please vote for Biden? Do whatever you can to vote for Biden. There's no way this man, if he was ever on that ballot, Trump would crush the Democratic Party. Now, you have to understand something, ladies and gentlemen. There's James Comey, Clapper, Brennan, Strzok, McCabe, all of them. You have former corrupt FBI officials. You have all of Hollywood. You have all the donors. Do you think that they want Biden as a captain? He'd be like the next Exxon Valdez captain. You think they want Biden? I'm telling you, this is so fantastic because Clinton won Nevada by 40,000 votes? Less than that. Clinton won Minnesota by around 40,000 votes? Okay. President Trump won Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin by around 77,000 votes. But what they don't tell you is that Gary Johnson took Without Gary Johnson, he would have won them easily. It wouldn't have been a razor-thin margin. So he would have won them easily. So now the Gary Johnson of this election, first of all, wouldn't it be, he's twice Gary Johnson. You're going to have people, this election, like 2016, is they're trying to make it because, look, they don't understand why people vote for President Trump. People vote for President Trump because he's a great president, objectively a great president. The media is basically an extension of the Democratic Party. If they treated President Obama, or if they treated Bush the same way they treat Trump, we wouldn't have gotten into never-ending counterinsurgency conflicts, but they didn't. So the Democrats have tried to paint this. They've tried to paint this into, well, you know what? You might not like Biden, but it's the best. It's the least of two horrible alternatives, and Biden's better. Okay. First of all, Trump voters don't think that way. They're voting for President. They're voting for President Trump. They're voting for President Trump because he's fantastic. He's a great president. His foreign policy is infinitely better than the Democratic Party, than Clinton's foreign policy. He's an anti-interventionist, He signed the First Step Act, signed legislation to renew funding to historically black colleges and universities, over like $250 million. He's the first president to sign an executive order combating anti-Semitism on college campuses that is running rampant from the left. Okay. He's a good president. We had record low unemployment. We had record low black and Latino unemployment. He's a good president. Okay. The pandemic response, 5 Democratic-run states account for over half of the lives lost in the entire country. We have 320 million people in this country. You take 5 states away, we don't lead the world in the pandemic. But Democrats said, well, you know what? This is an election. You put 2 people, and anyone's going to be better than Trump. Well, for people who get to the polls and they say, I don't dislike Trump as much as the Democrats, but if it was just Clinton and Trump, they'd vote Clinton. But you have Kanye West there. They're going to Kanye West. That's why all the Democrats, that's why Resistance Twitter is like livid. Completely livid. That's why Resistance Twitter is just absolutely livid. Because they know. They know. They know that, they have not stopped condemning, judging. They think condemnation is an actual argument. It's not an argument. Opposing something is not a rational argument. It's just the act of opposing, disagreeing with something is not an argument. You have to form an argument. You have to actually, what you need to do is change people's opinion. You have to change their viewpoint. If you don't have the facts on your side, and everything is hyperbole and conjecture and absurd analogies and metaphors, and just the most ludicrous allegations, the most sophomoric and absurd statements. Trump is an authoritarian, he's a despot. No, he's not. No, he's not. How many despots sign prison reform legislation, bring home Americans, and have to deal with the Supreme Court? How many despots can you name that have to do all of these things? Really didn't take the oath? I don't know what. Let's type in Michael Flynn. Okay. Oh, who cares? So what? I don't even know what that means, but it was a message board. It's complete nonsense. Oh, let's not get in. I don't want to get into this. Oh my God. That means what? So what? That is like completely meaningless. Where? Oh my, I don't want to get into it. Where are the super secret intel agents helping through the message board? They're nowhere to be found. But like, yeah, and I don't want to get into it. If he makes a statement that a lot of people make that I don't like, that is not confirmation that message boards are linked to intel trying to help people. That's nonsense. But anyway, they're going after Kanye West. I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you. By the way, that could hurt President Trump. Like, I'm telling you, that also, the whole message board nonsense, that takes votes away, but whatever. ABC News, Kanye West hints at White House run. He hints at it. He's announced Kanye West announces he's running for president. CNN.com. He's going to take votes, millions upon millions upon millions of votes away from Democrats. And you think that Democrats would be so, like, if Trump was such a horrible racist monster, you would think it wouldn't matter. You wouldn't. Yon Song Long, hello. You would think it wouldn't matter. You would think that they built a platform that Americans could rally around and would resonate with Americans. You would think that's the case, right? You would think that's the case. Didn't they have enough time from 2017, 18, 19, and 2020 to build up a platform, like a bunch of ideas and policies? What policy? What law did, because the First Step Act, conservatives helped out with that as well, okay? Kanye West and Jim Brown helped out with that. So did Van Jones. He's not a conservative, but is there any climate change legislation? No. No climate change legislation. So, like, what is it that people are voting for aside from not being Trump? And then when you have Kanye West who can say, hey, you can vote for me because I offer, you could just list, he's going to have to, communicate what he offers. But if Democrats worship celebrity and there's no greater celebrity than Kanye West and he's running, they've pretty much done themselves in. If their only argument for the past 4 years is that celebrities think Trump is racist and that people think Trump is racist, but they don't think Biden is, with his rhetoric, Biden's rhetoric is worse than you can ever attribute to President Trump. So, if your value system is not constant, if you don't condemn Biden and say, I'm not voting for Biden and Biden's a racist, but you only say Trump is, then you're basically a political, like you're basically a pawn of a political side. You don't have a constant value system. Your value system is malleable, only for political power. But your judgment is categorical. That's another issue too. This kind of this has become very fashionable the past 5 years, and I have no clue why, but condemnation, judgment, demeaning, mocking people, but basically judgment, condemnation, reprimanding people. Why do Democrats think that? Why do Democrats think that they can do that? That's not going to help them win votes. Thank you. That's not gonna help them win votes. Dripping glass, thank you. They have to win Michigan, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin. They have to win Nevada. They have to win Minnesota. They have to win Ohio and Florida. Okay? Kanye West takes 30 to 40 to 50 to 100,000 to 200,000 votes in each state. They're done. 400,000 votes, they're done. So, in terms of the Electoral College, he's like, Democrats are done. Democrats are completely done. I mean, I don't know. I'll tell you what. I don't think if he runs, he needs to address he needs to communicate his platform. So if he comes out with a website communicating his platform, and it's true they can cheat, but they have to get close to cheat. That's the issue. If you can communicate a platform, he'll get millions and millions of votes, primarily of voters who would have chosen the Democratic Party just because they're not into Trump, but they're definitely not into the Democratic Party. They don't buy all the nonsense the Democrats have been selling. So I agree with you, CeeLo. I agree with you. They're probably going to say, oh my God. Well, they're already saying right now it's Trump is helping him financially. All this stuff. I mean, I agree with you. They're already saying that. And then you already have, Sharon Osbourne, slammed by Sharon Osbourne. Like, this is not, like, when has insulting someone been a virtuous act, or criticizing someone? Who cares? Well, ladies and gentlemen, to my super chat, thank you so very much. Ladies and gentlemen, I am telling you, Lena, I think so also. I'm telling you, Yon Son Long, exactly. I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, you had Democrats saying, listen and respect and elevate the voices of people of color. And Kanye West runs for president, and they descend upon him with a vengeance, with this maniacal vitriol and venom. The Democrats are the biggest hypocrites on the planet. My God almighty. The biggest hypocrites on the planet. And instead of saying, yeah, well, Trump did a good job with the First Step Act, with legislation funding $250+ million into historically black colleges and universities, executive order combating anti-Semitism on college campuses that's running rampant. Instead of saying, well, he did those good things, and no. It's anything that harms us politically, you have to silence immediately. You're seeing the same thing they did with Believe, but not with Tara Reid. We can go on forever. Russian interference, but of course not with the Steele dossier. Give me your thoughts below, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much. I will be back a couple hours or so. People, I'll be back in a couple of hours. Be here, I would say around 11 p.m. Pacific, ladies and gentlemen. Be here around 11 p.m. Pacific, and I have a great upload. Let me give you the upload. It's actually doing quite well on Kanye West today, so check that out. That's below. Old school dad, man. Everyone here, thank you. MIHO, hello. Happy 4th. Ariel, thank you. The best thing about all of this, ladies and gentlemen, the best thing about all of this is that, you live with the Hollywood support. What do you think's going to happen if your political party rests upon, oh, look, De Niro says this and this 90s actress says that? What do you think happens? Like, Kanye West is bigger than De Niro. He's more relevant than De Niro. He's wealthier than De Niro. He actually, at this point right now, has greater name recognition, I would say. You take 19-year-olds, you ask them, there's a greater percentage of 20-year-olds who know who Kanye West is than Robert De Niro. I can tell you that right now. And so if your political party rests upon, well, Hollywood has condemned Trump. Well, that doesn't make any sense because President Trump had The Apprentice. He already conquered Hollywood. That's why who knows why they have this unholy alliance with the Democratic Party. I mean, we can go into it, but now you have Kanye West running. Now what's Hollywood going to do? What's Hollywood going to do now? The only thing Democrats had was a little foothold on celebrity culture and the influence that, celebrity culture gives a political party. Now they don't even have that. So, insubordinate, thank you. Happy 4th of July, thank you. Hello, everyone. Or I should say, ladies and gentlemen, I'll see you in a couple of hours around 11 p.m. Luke St. Martin, Eric H526, thank you so very much. I will see you all very soon. To my super chat, thank you. Old school dad, man. I will see everyone here in about 2 hours. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Eric H526.